Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take my brand new PRS SE Silver Sky and we are going to smooth out the back of the neck. If you watched my review video on this guitar that came out a week ago, you probably saw the pictures of the back of the neck. It was just ever so slightly bumpy, just something I didn't want to have to deal with anymore. So we're going to deal with it today. We're going to use some steel wool, some quadruple zero steel wool. We're going to tape off this guitar just so we can make sure that none of the fibers get anywhere on the guitar that we don't want them to be. Don't be afraid to do this at home with your guitar. It doesn't need to be one of these, but it's pretty common occurrence to see on like Facebook groups and the PRS forum these days that these guitars have a slightly unfinished feel, and a lot of people have been experiencing kind of the same stuff that I have. So we're going to take care of that today. We're going to kind of flip the camera around, do a overhead shot, and we're going to take care of this. All right, let's dive in. All right, everyone, we are back. We have the Silver Sky all taped up. It is sitting on the floor on my rug right here. It's pretty plush, so I'm not really worried about damaging the guitar at all. But you can see kind of how I taped it off. Just because this steel wool is super pesky. The fibers, once you start really going for it, they start flaking off and they'll get everywhere, especially the pickups. Now, it's odd that or ironic that I'm doing this on this guitar because I used to have, I believe it was 2006, 2006 Fender John Mayer Signature Strat, and I was doing something with steel wool. I think maybe I was polishing up the frets or something or cleaning off the fingerboard, but I remember the fibers were getting onto the pickups, and that was before I knew any better. So it's a big pain to get it off. So take the time, 90% prep, 10% actually doing the job. So take care of this part for sure. So just ran a couple pieces over the top. Not too worried about it because it's going to be flat on the rug here. Then I put a couple pieces of painter's tape on the edge of the rosewood because we're only working on the maple here. And we did that on both sides. And then right here at the heel joints, just because I don't want to hit any of the finish on the body, just be as protective as I can. So we're going to go ahead and lay this flat down. Now, for those of you who watched my review video of this guitar, you probably saw the picture of the back of the neck. Tried to capture it as best as I could. They're really, really small finish bumps on the back of this neck. It really wasn't anything to slow me down, and it really wasn't like super disappointing. It was just kind of odd because I even have a $200 Tajima Strat style guitar, and the neck was like, it was perfect. Had more finish on it, but it was perfect. So it was just kind of odd to see that, just because these guitars come to the Maryland factory after after being built at the Indonesia factory, and they do all the setup work in Maryland, from what I understand. So just weird that it got through QC like this, but whatever. Something to also keep in mind, this whole process that we're going to do does not void your warranty with PRS in this guitar. I personally reached out to them. Their tech center said that definitely use either the 000 steel wool or the quadruple zero steel wool. So I'm using the quadruple zero just because it's not too bad. And yeah, it doesn't void your warranty as long as you don't damage the neck. Now, I did see a couple pictures online. I think there's a Facebook group and the PRS forum, there was a guy with SE Silver Sky, and he wore through the finish and took away some of the tint. You don't want to do that. It'll void the warranty, and it just doesn't look good. But it is a $849 guitar, but still, for me, it would still psych myself out. I still want this to be as perfect as it can, even if it's not as expensive as the core model. So let's get started. When we're doing this, we want to be going with the grain, so in this direction, and we want to make sure that we are doing very light passes. It's not going to take much. Just because all these fibers are all woven together, it's going to knock these edges off pretty quickly. You want to do the light passes as well, because you also, well, I guess depending on your preference, you don't want to gloss up the neck. This is already nice and satinized, so I don't want it to really get glossy. But again, that's going to happen over time anyways. So we're just kind of simulating what your hand would do over time. So let's get started right here. This is about the 12th, where are we at? I covered up the markers. So yeah, this is about the 12th to 15th fret here. This is, I play a lot over here. Didn't feel as much down here. So we're gonna hit this spot. Again, going light passes. And as you do those passes, make sure you feel, just so you're not going overboard. And if you're not comfortable working with steel wool, I would highly suggest maybe finding something with finish, like just any piece of wood that has some sort of finish on it, or maybe a project guitar. Practice on that first. That's kind of what I did, because I was still nervous about using it on this. So I have a cheapo 335 style guitar that it needed the back of the neck to be kind of worked on. So I practiced with this first. If you are seeing white stuff on your steel wool, that means you are taking off probably too much finish. So already, yep, I don't think I'm going to do any more on this side. Just that much, knock those edges off. That's feeling really good. Having a microfiber cloth is good to just clean it off as you go. So feeling a little bit right here, kind of the same area. Yep, that's pretty good. I don't think I need to do any more there. Yeah, you'll be very surprised how much the steel wool takes off. And we got 2 spots here and here. So this is being like really picky. I mean, I'm sure anyone who had this guitar would have just loved it, but I have another guitar that is, I don't know, 5 times the amount of this guitar, and the neck is absolutely perfect on it. So just wanted to get this one as close to that as I could. And another thing to do, pick it up into playing position and run your hand along it, just so you can, again, you don't want to take off too much. Actually, I think we're there. Just that little amount of work went a long way. I'm not feeling any of those bumps. Yeah, this neck now feels like butter. So I think we might leave it. Make sure you wipe down the neck. Something else you might want to consider before you start doing something like this is using like naphtha. So that is a cleaner. It's pretty close to like lighter fluid. so you want to clean off the neck to get any grime off. But I should have done that, but there weren't very many spots on here that I needed to really take care of. So, but that's it. I'm gonna take off this tape, but definitely don't be afraid to do this on your own guitars. I'm not a luthier by any means. I know how to set my action and kind of do like basic setup work. And I have a couple project guitars, like trying to satinize the necks and rounding over the fret edges. But don't be afraid to do something like this on your guitar, especially these SEs, because I know I'm not the only one who had this issue. But this is feeling really good. Yeah, I know the camera's not going to be able to pick it up, but it's feeling good. So take my word for it. Give it a try. But thanks for watching, and good luck on your guitar. This is not an expensive project by any means. This was about $5 or $6. I had the painter's tape lying around, but give this a try, and we will see you next time. Bye.